Hey deep divers, welcome back. Don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and let us know what you think in the comments below. Today we are diving into some seriously juicy political drama unfolding right before the 2024 election. Get this. We've got children of big-name Republicans publicly backing, well, the Democratic ticket. Specifically, Kamala Harris. Talk about shaking up the family dinner table.
It's a fascinating dynamic, seeing these endorsements from individuals who come from families so deeply entrenched in the Republican establishment.
Right, like Barbara Bush, daughter of former President George W. Bush, just endorsed Kamala Harris. And she didn't just talk the talk, she actually campaigned for Harris and Tim Walz in Pennsylvania.
This is huge for a couple of reasons. First, it's the first time Barbara Bush has publicly endorsed a Democrat for president. Now she's long been a supporter of progressive causes like LGBTQ plus rights and climate action, which puts her at odds with much of the current Republican Party platform. But this endorsement, this takes her stance to a whole new level.
Totally. And choosing to campaign in Pennsylvania, a major swing state. It's just she's strategically trying to reach those moderate voters who might be feeling disillusioned with both Trump and the Republican Party.
It's a smart move, especially considering the timing. Just 1 week before Election Day, this could really sway some undecided voters.
It makes you wonder what's going on behind the scenes in the Bush family. You know, George W. Bush himself hasn't endorsed anyone and has stayed silent about who he's voting for.
That silence speaks volumes, especially when you consider that he didn't vote for Trump in the past 2 elections. He even wrote in Condoleezza Rice, his former Secretary of State, back in 2020. This break from traditional party loyalty suggests a real discomfort with Trump's policies and rhetoric within the Bush family.
So we've got Barbara making waves with her endorsement, while her dad's playing it close to the vest. It definitely paints a picture of a potential generational divide within the Republican Party itself.
Absolutely, and this isn't just a Bush family affair. We're seeing other prominent Republican offspring stepping outside party lines. Susan Ford Bales, daughter of President Gerald Ford, and Liz Cheney, daughter of former Vice President Dick Cheney, have also voiced their support for Harris.
Wait, Liz Cheney, the one who basically went rogue against the Republican Party after the January 6th attack on the Capitol.
Exactly. She's been one of Trump's most vocal critics, especially when it comes to his attempts to overturn the 2020 election results and his role in inciting the January 6th insurrection. Her very public break with the party reflects a larger trend of disillusionment with Trump among traditional Republicans, particularly those who prioritize democratic principles and institutions.
Right. It's like they're saying, this isn't the Republican Party we signed up for.
Precisely. And when you look at these endorsements as part of a broader pattern, you start to see a potential realignment of political allegiances. It seems like some folks are moving away from the more extreme elements of the current Republican Party.
So what's driving this shift? Is it just about personalities, or is something deeper going on?
Well, in Barbara Bush's case, she's been very clear about her reasons for endorsing Harris. She wants to see the country move forward and for women's rights to be protected. These are powerful statements, especially in the current political climate.
Yeah, especially with the Supreme Court overturning Roe v. Wade last year. The issue of abortion access has become a central focus in this election.
And Barbara Bush has a history of supporting Planned Parenthood, even during the Trump presidency. So it's safe to say that her endorsement is a strategic move to champion those values.
But it's not just individual endorsements making headlines. Remember back in August when over 200 staffers from various Republican administrations, including both Bushes, publicly endorsed Harris?
Right. Their open letter expressing concern about the potential damage a Trump presidency could inflict on American democracy was a pretty big deal.
Okay, so we've got individual endorsements and then this group of former Republican staffers all backing Harris. Is this just symbolic, or could it actually influence how people vote?
That's the million-dollar question. Are these endorsements simply gestures? Or could they actually sway undecided voters, particularly those who are disillusioned with the current state of the Republican Party but haven't fully embraced the Democrats?
Interesting. It seems like these endorsements, especially from within Republican families, could really shake up the political landscape. But will they actually affect the election outcome?
We'll have to wait and see. What's clear is that a segment of the Republican base is feeling uneasy. And these endorsements reflect that growing discomfort. It's like they're sending a signal flare saying, hey, this isn't the Republican Party we knew. And that message could resonate with voters who are tired of the status quo and looking for a different path.
Exactly. And these aren't just random folks criticizing from the sidelines. These are people who have been in the trenches, working within Republican administrations. They've seen how the sausage is made, and they're deeply worried about where things are headed.
Their experience lends a certain weight to their concerns. It's one thing to disagree with a party's direction, but it's quite another to publicly break ranks and endorse the opposition, especially when you've been a part of that party's inner circle.
They're putting their reputations on the line to make a statement. It goes beyond just endorsing a candidate. They're endorsing a set of values and principles that they feel are essential for the future of American democracy.
You're absolutely right. Remember that letter the 200-plus staffers signed? They specifically warned that a Trump return to the White House would severely damage our democracy. It's a stark reminder of what's at stake in this election.
Whoa, that's heavy stuff.
Yeah.
Makes you think about the bigger picture, beyond just who wins and loses. This is about the kind of country we want to be.
It's crucial for voters to engage in thoughtful deliberation, to really consider the candidates and their platforms, and to think about the long-term consequences of their choices.
So, we shouldn't just vote based on party lines or sound bites.
Exactly. This election is about more than just red versus blue. It's about fundamental values, the very fabric of our democracy. It's about choosing the kind of leadership that will guide us into the future.
Well said. And as we head into this final week before the election, it's more important than ever to be informed, to talk to each other respectfully, and to make our voices heard by voting.
These endorsements, while definitely surprising, remind us that the political landscape is constantly shifting, and we as citizens have a role to play in shaping that landscape.
What's really interesting to me is how these endorsements are blurring the lines between the traditional parties. We're seeing people who historically aligned with one party now expressing support for the other. It makes you wonder if we're witnessing a major realignment of political ideologies.
It's a fascinating possibility. It seems like people are reevaluating their priorities and looking for something different. Maybe they're tired of the partisan gridlock, or maybe they're concerned about the direction the country is headed, whatever the reason. This election is revealing some deep shifts in the American political consciousness.
It's like we're watching a political thriller unfold in real time. We've got all these unexpected plot twists, and we're on the edge of our seats waiting to see how it all ends.
It's true. But beyond the immediate drama of the election, these endorsements raise important questions about the future of the Republican Party. Is this just a temporary rift? Or is it a sign of a more permanent realignment? What does this mean for the party's identity and its ability to connect with voters?
It's a real crossroads for the Republican Party. They have to decide what they stand for and who they want to represent. The choices they make in the coming months and years will have a huge impact on the direction of American politics.
Absolutely. This election is a pivotal moment, and it will be fascinating to see how these events shape the political landscape moving forward.
Okay, so to sum up this deep dive, it seems like these endorsements, especially those coming from within Republican families, could signal a potential shift in the political landscape. We're seeing a pushback against more extreme elements of the Republican Party and a call for a return to more traditional conservative values.
The big question is, will these endorsements actually have a real impact on the election? Will they be enough to sway undecided voters or get people who are disillusioned with both parties to actually vote?
It's a nail-biter for sure. But thinking beyond just the election results, what does this tell us about the future of the Republican Party? Is this just a temporary disagreement, or are we seeing a more fundamental change?
That's the million-dollar question that political analysts will be debating long after the votes are counted. But what's clear is that the Republican Party is at a crossroads. They have to figure out what they stand for and who they represent. The decisions they make in the next few years will have a big impact on American politics.
For sure. And for all you deep divers out there, this is a perfect time to really think critically and have those thoughtful conversations. Don't just take things at face value. Dig deeper. Consider different viewpoints. And form your own conclusions.
And remember, no matter what your political leanings are, it's important to be respectful of other people's views and have civil conversations. We might not always agree, but we can still learn from each other and try to find common ground. That's what makes a democracy work.
Beautifully said. So deep divers, keep those brains buzzing. And remember to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and let us know what you think in the comments below. Your comments might even spark the next deep dive. Until then, stay curious, stay informed, and keep exploring the world with us.